Good morning, students. I told you to read the story of Vilas and Sakal. I hope that you all have read. In the two case studies, we saw Sakal went to school and Vilas did not. Sakal was physically strong and healthy. There was no need for him to visit the doctor frequently. Vilas was a patient of arthritis. He lacked the means to visit the doctor. Sakal acquired a degree in computer programming. Sakal found a job in a private firm while Vilas continued with the same work as his mother. He earned a meager means very less income, like his mother, to support a family. In the case of Sakal, several years of education added to the quality of labor. This enhances total productivity. Total productivity adds to the growth of the economy. This in turn pays an individual through salary or in other forms of his choice. In case of Vilas, there could not be any education or health care in the early part of his life. He spends his life selling fish like his mother. Henceforth, he draws the same salary of unskilled labor as his mother. So, it is clear with the story, both the stories, that if the investment will be done on education and healthcare, then only the high returns in form of job will be found. And if the high returns in job means high salary if they will earn, and then only the development of country's economy is possible. So this is how the education, the investment in education and health is important. It is very important because it gives a chance to grow. It gives the chance for development. So basically here the sentence is written that investment in human resource via education and medical care. Via means through the education and medical care can give high rates of return. How? Investment in education and health gives high return in future through high earning, means better job, and this will develop the country's economy. As I told you earlier that country's development depends on the country's development is totally depends on the development of the that is standard of living of the society, means of the person, of the individual. So if they will grow, automatically the country will grow, because if their earning will grow, if the per person earning will grow, which is called per capita earning. So per capita, it is called income. So if it will grow, the economy will automatically grow, because the taking out the per capita income is through the total income of the country divided by the total population of the country, then we get per capita income. Means it is a general thing how the estimation of development is done of the country. So per capita income is the average income of a country. It is taken out by dividing the total country national income of a country divided by the total population of a country, and like that we get the per capita income. With per capita income, if higher per capita income indicates the development of a country. So here the investment in education and health gives high return in future through high earning, means better jobs, and if they will get better job, they will get better earning, they will contribute in the national income, or like this development of the economy is possible, country's economy is possible. So this makes the virtuous cycle. The word virtuous cycle and vicious cycle is written on page number 19, second paragraph. You can underline those two words, vicious and virtuous cycle. So virtuous cycle, this makes a virtuous cycle. Virtuous cycle are all the cycle, the total cycle is formed, because when the investment is done, in future they will get the job, automatically they will develop the country, then more investment in the education and have more development, like that this cycle will be continued. And when the cycle gives the positive result, it is called virtuous cycle. This is giving a positive result. day by day the development is increasing. So this is called virtuous cycle. And vicious cycle gives unfavorable results, means no investment in education and health will give, there will be no job for the person, or no development, like this. If the investment will be not done, it will be very hard for the person to get the earning, so they will earn less, and like this they will not contribute in the, not able to contribute in the development. So this creates vicious cycle. And the positive results which cycle gives is called virtuous cycle. How it is giving? Through investment in education and health. Now let's see the how the first let's see the how the investment in education and health provides the benefits to the people. So with that, first it is written about economic activity of men and women. Then I have to classify, you have to understand how the economic activities are performed, how they are contributing in the development of the country. Then I will tell about the how the investment is done in education and health, and what are the benefits of it. Okay. Here, the investment in education and health will develop the human resource, and it will develop the efficiency and technology of the technology. New technology will be evolved, and through that the country will develop. So this is how the here the human resource, it will develop the human resource, means the human resource are who are working people and who are contributing for the nation's development, because they got the work, so they will start working. So when they start working, they will contribute in the development of country's economy. And with that, if the human resource will be developed, the human capital, means the efficiency, the technology, all that things, what is the positive attribute of the human resource will be evolved through the education, through the investment in education and health. So this is ultimately going to result in the country's economic growth. So how the human resource are involved in economic activity, because economic activity results in the development of economy, the contribution in the economic, how the human resource are distributed, how they are performing in the economic activity, and what are the economic activities, that I am going to explain. So economic activities, they are the human resource or the working population is categorized into, they are doing the they are basically every country has the three activities: primary, secondary and tertiary. So if primary activities, that all these are called economic activity. How it is called economic activity, why it is called economic activity, that I am going to explain. So this concept is clear to you, that virtuous cycle is the which gives the positive result. If here it has been told that investment in education and health gives high return in future through high earning, means better jobs, and that develops the country. And when the investment will be done, development of human resources possible, their efficiency, and the technology, because technology is the result of the human brain only, and so technology will be evolved, new technology will be evolved, and ultimately the country will grow. Now let's see how the economic activities are related with the development. As I told you, that if we will invest through the education, through the skill, through the healthcare, then only the country will develop. And if not, then country will not develop. So when the effort will be done on, when the investment will be done in the education and healthcare, there will be virtuous cycle. If it will not be done, vicious cycle. So how the country can develop? They can develop by the investment in human resources, through education, through healthcare facility, through providing the services. So Like example of Japan is there, it is given in a book about Japan. Japan is not having natural resources, they are having human resource, and they have utilized their human resource at their best. We are also rich in human resource, but we are means the India is also rich in human resource, even natural resource also we are rich, so we are at the better position. But if we will compare the development, we are far behind than Japan. Why? Because we are not able to create the services for this growing population, and when it will be possible, then only the human force means all the human population will be converted into asset rather than a liability. Now it is how it is happen through the economic activity. How the country get this developed? Through the economic activity. Suppose 100 people are there, 60 are working and 40 are unemployed. So those 60 are working, they will be working. How they are working? Through the economic. What they are working? They are called activities. They are working and they are earning. So that's why it is called economic activities. Means economically they are becoming strong through these activities, and these activities are what? Primary activities, secondary activities and tertiary activities. These are called economic activity. So what are economic activities? The heading is economic activities, that you have to understand about economic activities I am telling. So economic activities are those activities which result in the production of goods and services. And which activities? Primary activities includes agriculture, forestry, animal husbandry, fishing, poultry, farming, mining and quarrying. In some books, mining and quarrying is written in secondary activities by mistake, means misprinting is there, you correct it. Okay, only in few books, so no need to get confused. Mining and quarrying will be in primary activity. Secondary activities include manufacturing. Only manufacturing means the industry comes under secondary activity where manufacturing takes place. Tertiary activities includes services that education, health, transport, communication, etc. So many services are there. So this all is there. Economic activities add value to the national income. How it adds value to the national income? Whatever the working population earns, it is added in the national income. So it adds value to the national income. They earn by which activity? Primary, secondary or tertiary activities. National income is the income earned by the total working population of a country through various economic activities. Okay? National income is the income earned by the total working population of a country through various economic activities. Now, economic activities has been categorized in two categories, market and non-market. Very clear. Market activities are those activities which are done for the earning. Earning means for which we get remuneration, profit, anything which we earn, either profit, either remuneration, anything. So for others, what we produce for the activities through which what we produce for others, and in return we get the money. Money means the salary or the profit, whatever we get, then it will be called as market activity. That is economic activity, and it is categorized into market activity. Non-market activity, those activities which are done means either primary, secondary or tertiary, that for self-consumption, not for the public, means other people, only for themselves, that will be included in the non-market activities. So here market activities are done for others and non-market activities for themselves. So in return, this is the difference between market and non-market activities. Economic activities has been categorized into two categories, market and non-market. Very clearly it is given in the book on page number 19. Right hand side, first paragraph, very clearly it is given about economic activity and how it is categorized into market and non-market. This I have told you, what I have told you. Is it clear? And now I am going to explain how these people gets adds how the development took take place because of the economic activity, and how the people, like people as a resource, with the topic is the chapter is the chapter topic is people as a resource, how they converts, how the people converts into resource. So how they are converted? Through what? Through education, through healthcare facilities. So all these are the facilities provided to them, through that they are developing. So now what is the role of education and what is the role of healthcare, that I am going to discuss. The quality of population. The quality of population depends upon the literacy rate, health of a person, indicated by life expectancy and skill formation acquired by the people of the country. The quality of population ultimately decides the growth rate of the country. Illiterate and unhealthy population are liability for the economy. Literate and healthy population are an asset for the economy. So how the quality of population will be generated? Through education. So what is the role of education in human capital formation? Because it role of education in human capital formation, it is one of the major attribute of the population, major quality of the population, education. So role of education in human capital formation. So first role is that education improves the level of understanding. As you are growing, you are studying, you are getting educated, your level of understanding is improving. Your means you are at students level, and now you are going to become, after 10 years you are going to become what? Human resource. So how education is helping you? This is how, what is it means, role of education in human capital formation. So first point is education improves the level of understanding. Second point, it develops value of life, knowledge and skill. Third point, it enhances the total productivity and open new opportunities for the person. Through education only you get new opportunities get open and productivity is enhanced. So fourth point, it modifies human behavior. As you have heard, there is a if anyone behaves not properly, then see is it educated or not. So they are categorized. Why categorized? Because it modifies. Education, if you are educated person, that means your behavior should be you have to behave basically in civic life you have to behave very nicely, means human behavior should be very good. So it modifies human behavior and prevents a person from bad habits. If you are educated, then only you will understand the difference between good habits and bad habits. It makes you understand that also. So it prevents a person from bad habits. The last point, means fifth point, so many other points can also be there, you can include in that whatever as per you, but these points you have to write in your notes copy. It promotes a rational and scientific outlook for the solution of problems faced by the people during their life. Whatever problems they used to face, if they are well educated, through their knowledge, through their skill, through their experience, they utilize that in solving the problems by making decisions, which results in developing the country through their wisdom. Ultimately, the atmosphere of the country, the overall development of the country depends on their decision, people's decision. So like that, it is helping the country to get developed. So this is the role of education, which are very important. You can add some more points also, but these 5 points I have provided. You learn it. You have understood. Now the second quality of population is the health. So what is the role of health? How the health plays the first point, what is the role of health in human capital formation. Second, how it plays role in the plays the role in the working population, because the health improves the productivity. So when it is productivity, how will be judged? Through the working population's productivity. So now I will discuss on health 2 points. So that what is the role of health, and second, what is the how the health of the person affects the working population. Okay. So now next topic is health, role of health in human. Quality of population also depends on health. The role of health in human capital formation is, first point, that health is an essential basis for realizing one's well-being. Second point, it adds value to the human resource development on which the nation's economy depends. Third point, the health of a person helps to realize the potential of a person, which enhances the productivity. Now next point related, point out that next topic related to the health, quality of population, is health plays a vital role in the individual working life. How? A healthy person is more productive and efficient. Second point, a person's ability to work largely depends upon his or her physical and mental health. Third point, a healthy person works regularly, which contributes in the development of the organization where they work. So all this attribute is going to help. If individual's working life is productive, ultimately the country is going to develop, because it adds value to the human development on which the nation's economy depends. So total individual's working life contribute in the nation's economy by their activities. Now basically about education and health, the major concept I have told you, and in your book data are given related to how the government is investing in education, how the government is investing in healthcare facilities, what is the figure of that, so that you have to. Now in both the what I was talking about, that data is given. Data is given means about the health, about the education, what the government step, how many teachers are there, how many nurses are there, how many doctors are there, how many hospitals are there, how many schools are there, that all is written over there. So that data is not it, only it is to show that how the country is taking step for the maintaining the quality of population through education and health. So data you have not to learn, only you have to understand how much effort they are taking. And with the growth of the population, the health services needs to be improved and education services need to be improved. On page number 23, 3 definitions are given under health. IMR means infant mortality rate, birth rate, death rate. The definition of IMR is infant mortality rate is the death of a child under 1 year of age. Under 1 year of age, but you have to add in that per thousand. Per thousand, how many deaths of a child under 1 year of age is there? That is called infant mortality rate. Birth rate is the number of babies born there for every 1,000 people during a particular period of time. This also per thousand. This also per thousand. This data also, death rate also per thousand. Death rate is the number of people per thousand who die during a particular period of time. So that's why I have written, you have to mention per thousand, and IMR per thousand is not mentioned in your book, that you have to add after the statement. Infant mortality rate is the death of a child under 1 year of age per thousand. On page number 23, just at the last, it is given the 3 definition that you have to learn. Now the chapter is people as a resource. When the people will be converted in resource, when they will get job, and if they will not get job, they will not going to be counted as human resource. So through education, through health, whatever they are investing on human capital formation, whether government, whether parents, whether individual. So why? Because to convert into a human resource, that they will be converted to the human resource in the hope of that. So what is the condition of India? A lot of unemployment is there. All the people, if 100 are at the age, the working population age is from 18 to 59 years. General age group is 18 to up to 60 years. You can say 18 to 60 years. So up to this age group, if 100 persons are there, means I am giving you just data to make you understand. Only 40 are 60 are getting job, rest the 40 are unemployed. So how the country will develop with such a human force? Means human resource is not being utilized. So those 40% are an liability, and these only 60% are an asset. So those asset are important, but those liability has to be converted into asset. How? By generating employment. But what is the condition of the country? Employment generation rate is less, and the growth of a human population is more. So because of that, unemployment exists. Unemployment is said to exist when people willing to work, means they are healthy also, they are educated also, they are having skill also, they are willing to work at the going wages cannot find jobs. मतलब जो वेजेस मिल रहा है उसमें वो तैयार हैं वर्क करने के लिए. Then also they are not getting the job. Going wages means present wages. According to the present inflation. Inflation means whatever the prices are there of commodities, according to that the wages are decided. Means day by day it increases with the development. So going wages means present wages cannot find jobs. They are willing to work at the going wages, cannot find job. Willing to work means like your mother. If she is housewife, but she is educated, she is healthy, everything, but willingly she is not she don't want to work, then willingly she don't want to work because she want to focus on her family. She will not be called as unemployed. She is also contributing for the human resource development. Her contribution is also more. To whom she is helping? In human capital formation. You are what? Human capital formation. Her children is what? Human capital for her contribution is very much for the development of nation. But she will not be called as unemployed because she is educated also, she is healthy also, everything also, she can work also, but she is not willing to work because of her family, because she want to devote that time for her family, those who are housewife. So she is not willing. I am giving the example of housewives. Generally she is neglected in the contribution of the human resource, but her role is very much. The women's role, those who are housewives, those who are only contributing their life for the family's development, they are contributing for the nation's development a lot. Because they are not willing to work. They are capable, they are everything, but because why? Their focus is towards their family rather than economical. So, but she is contributing for the development of nation. If you want, you can discuss with me regarding this through if you are not clear with that. So employment is said to exist when people willing to work at the going wages cannot find job. Only those who are educated also, those who are healthy also, those who are having skill also, they want to work, but they are not getting job at going wages. They are called as unemployed. This definition you have to learn. Total this definition you have to learn like this only. Unemployment is said to exist when people willing to work at the going wages cannot find job. It is written on page number 24 where unemployment topic is given. Sakal's mother's Sheila looked means that statement is written. Second paragraph, unemployment is said to exist when people who are willing to work at the going wages cannot find jobs. Right hand side it is given under unemployment. Second paragraph, first line you have to underline and you have to learn. How many types of unemployment are there? 3 types. Seasonal, disguised, educated in India exist. In rural areas, seasonal, in both the areas, different type of rural and urban area, different type of unemployment exist. And in rural areas, seasonal unemployment exists and disguised unemployment exists. And in urban area, educated unemployment exists. Seasonal unemployment happens when people are not able to find jobs during some month of the year. Some month of the year, like agriculture, farmers or the person who are working on farm, they are getting the work on sowing season, harvesting season, but the growing period they are not getting the job because that time there is no work in the field. So that will be the seasonal unemployment. So where it exists? In rural area. Disguised unemployment, it is a condition in which people appears to be employed, they have agriculture prod, they find work, usually happens among family members engaged in agriculture activity. Suppose there are 4 family members and they are having 2 hectares of land. The 4 are working in that farm, but the 4 are not required. Only 2 can give that productivity. 2 quintal production can be done with the 2 people. 2 are disguisedly unemployed, means that they are working, they are not required but they are working. 2 extra persons are there. Why? Because the productivity is low and the more persons are working than required, means the disguised unemployment is situation when more than required persons are working. So more than required, so extra people are working. They seems to be employed, but basically their productivity is low. 2 will work, the same production. 4 will work, same production. That means 2 are not, the rest 2 are, if 4 people are there, 4 are not needed. 2 can perform the same production. So what is the step to be taken? Those 2 can be shifted to other areas of the other activities, like they can go in the industry, they can work in industry, they can go in service sector and they can perform their activity as per their qualification, whether skilled, whether unskilled. In there they can contribute in that in spite of spending their time and doing the work where they are not required. Like that the employment situation can be improved. Clearly it is given disguised unemployment with example, it is given in your book. Seasonal employment definition with example, it is given in your book. You just go through it. Page number 25, left hand side, second paragraph, it is from there it is started and very clearly with example it has been explained. In exam, if about unemployment it comes, in exam I am talking about the final exams, not half yearly. Don't think this is the important question of half yearly. So unemployment, definition of employment, how many types of employment, their definition with example, then the answer will be complete. So seasonal is clear. Disguise, what is disguise unemployment is clear. Example also I have given you. Seasonal also example I have given you. Which area? Rural areas. Now in urban areas, they are educated, means they are qualified, but they are not getting the jobs because this type of because the jobs are not available, and this condition is called educated unemployment. Uneducated unemployment has become a common phenomenon. Many youth with matriculation, graduation, post-graduate degrees are not able to find job. A paradoxical manpower situation is witnessed as surplus of manpower in certain categories coexists with shortage of manpower in other. Means that in some areas where the more skilled are there, like nowadays you can see more IT persons are there, most have done engineering but they are not getting the job because for engineers no job is, maximum are employed. If 100 engineers are there, 60 are employed, 40 are not employed. So here the technically qualified persons are available but the jobs are not available, and some fields are there in which the jobs are available but for that technical field the person is not suitable. So in some areas, the means in some field, the jobs are there, but the technically qualified persons are there, not there. In somewhere the jobs are not there, means work is not there, but more number of people are there to work for the same work. Means if they want to get in a communication, if the employment is required, so they are having the degree for the of the engineer. So BTech, like BTech, they have the person has done BTech and in communication job is there. So BTech person can't go in communication field. For that, their training is required for the their education is required, the qualification required in communication field, but he is not qualified for that, so he can't be replaced in that. So their job is available, but most are educated for what? For engineering. So this is called paradoxical manpower. So this type of, there is unemployment among technically qualified person on one hand, while there is dearth word is written in a book, means lack of technical skill required for economic growth. So this situation is called paradoxical manpower situation. Unemployment lead to wastage of man resource. People who are an asset for the economy turn into liability. So that is clear to you. So the government should take the step, not only government, we also can create the employment by establishing the business, establishing the enterprises. Through that we can contribute. So at that level we have to prepare, means human, you have to prepare yourself. Not only government, but you can also generate employment by developing yourself, and after 10 years you will provide employment to other peoples. So like that the country can develop. I am giving the example. And here through the what, either they will be involved in agriculture sector, or they will be involved in secondary sector, either they will be involved in tertiary sector, but whichever sector they will be involved, they will have to do their best. But here the most labor absorbing sector is primary or agriculture sector of economy. Means most of the people are working in which sector? Primary sector, in agriculture, which is called agriculture sector also. So agriculture sector, most of the people are doing the work. So in rural area, this is common type of unemployment, seasonal and disguise. So how the employment can be generated? How? Because in secondary and tertiary employment to be generated, by industries can be established, services can be developed, and through that the employment can be generated. And it has been given through the story of a village, how the story, in the story it is given that how the village developed and become self-sufficient by providing primary, secondary and tertiary services. Very clearly it is explained through the story of village on page number 26 and 27. You go through it and you this chapter is over, and whatever confusion is there related to this, you can ask from me. And now the half yearly portion is over. Half yearly portion has been completed.